That running a business without advertising is like winking at a girl in the dark. No one knows apart from yourself what you have done. She doesn't even know, or she doesn't know that you've winked at her. You know, but she doesn't. Advertising allows you to stimulate sales and thereby increasing your profit. But I will tell you, when it comes to your spiritual life, there are things you cannot advertise. There are things you cannot advertise. To advertise them is actually to kill them. To advertise them is actually to kill them. Now, number one is humility. Advertised humility becomes pride. Advertised humility becomes pride. I don't know whether you have ever noticed where humility has been advertised. There is this popular statement people usually use whenever they get an opportunity to speak to a congregation or to do something, and they come and they say, "I am humbled to stand before you." No, that's not humbling. That is honoring. To be humbled is to be reduced to nothing. To be humbled is to be told you're nothing, is to be taken from up here and to brought to nothing. And so when that humility is advertised, it becomes pride. And so this statement that I am humbled to stand before you is really not humility. It can be pride. Advertised humility is pride. The second thing that is killed by advertising is what I would call altruism. Altruism is a selfless compassion concerning the welfare of others. When that is advertised, it becomes egotism. It becomes egotism. And the third thing that you cannot advertise is your spirituality. When it's advertised, it becomes hypocrisy. It becomes hypocrisy. Now, Jesus addresses this in details in the book of Matthew chapter 6, from verse 1 all the way to verse 18. I have heard preachers say that they do not want religion, they want a relationship with Jesus Christ. And that may sound spiritual, but James says there is what we call true religion, because religion in and of itself is the activities of man in worshiping, or his attempt to worship God. And so if James talks about true religion, there is false religion. And so to say that you do not want religion, you want a relationship with God, is not really entirely accurate, because in that relationship with Jesus Christ, there is the practice of religion, the practice of obedience to the word of God. There is the activity of prayer. There is the activity of worship. There is the activity of serving, and these activities constitute religion. So accurate statement then is, I want a true religion, which is symbolic of a relationship with Jesus Christ. But there are activities that constitute false religion, or what I call advertised religion. And this is what I want us to look into, so that we can learn to avoid these traps. I'm calling them traps because they are linked to the desire to please men. You see, man was created with a desire to worship. Man was created with a desire for relationships. When God created man, he said, let us make man in our own image and our own likeness. Part of that was relationship. God says, let us, signifying our relationship. So when man was created, In him was put a desire to connect with other people as well as a desire to connect with God. When we disobeyed God in the Garden of Eden, we dropped the desire to obey God, to relate with God, and we strengthened the desire to obey and relate with fellow men. And so man finds himself in this trap of people. When you look at King Saul, the reason why he failed is that his desire was not to please God, but he was more concerned about the people. Anytime he was confronted, he always used the people as an excuse why he did what he did in disobedience to God.